Hello, everybody. We have a very special guest with us today. One of the most recognizable faces in Bengal politics and in Indian politics, in fact, Mr. Mohammed Salim. Mr. Salim is a veteran communist leader. He's the Politburo member of the Communist Party of India Marxist. He's the state secretary of the West Bengal unit of the CPIM, a four-time MP, twice in the Rajya Sabha, twice in the Lok Sabha, and he's contesting for the Lok Sabha seat in Murshidabad. In his busy campaigning schedule, Mr. Salim has been kind enough to take the time off and talk to Frontline. Welcome, Mr. Salim.
Thank you.
Well, Murshidabad, we've seen in the last 44 years, Murshidabad has been won by the left 10 times and twice by the Congress. And it was only in 2019 that the Trinamool could manage to win here for the first time. Given the historical past that mostly that the CPM has here, have you seen that organizational strength of the CPM has remained intact in the last, since 2011, since CPM lost power in the state?
Murshidabad is one of the districts where it's not only that we could fight back the onslaught of the TMC, but rebuild the organization. When the resurgent left is there in Bengal, and it is in the front ranking 5 districts, Murshidabad is one of them. During Panchayat election also, the left and the Congress workers, activists and leaders, they fought hand in hand. And police and the administration's intervention has caused the damage. Otherwise, TMC has no strength to go to the people and mobilize them. Even now in this election also, it's the SP or the DIG, they are mobilizing the TMC campaign or the campaigners. Murshidabad's history goes much beyond that of last 44 years. In fact, once this Odisha, Bengal and Bihar used to be governed by the Nawabs, Sirajuddaulah, Alibadi Khan, and the seat of power was Murshidabad. If you see the history, before Palasi and the British took over, East India Company came here, any villages in this region was much better off than any village of Europe. That's why Dutch, French, Portuguese and the Britishers came and they plundered a lot. So now again, the people, the downtrodden, the marginalized section of people, they are getting mobilized. The RSS and BJP utilized the service of the TMC. They cultivated Mamata Banerjee just to break the unity of the people. So the communal forces are now, they have developed their network. So even now, these 2 days before, you have seen there's some incidents that took place at Beldanga. So we want to prevent this to happen. What is happening in North India, what's happening in the rest of the country, the Malda, Murshidabad, Dinajpur, Bengal, the central districts, we are victim of the partition. One of the reasons for backwardness of Murshidabad is because which used to be the center of the power.
Salim, what we have seen for so long, I've been covering West Bengal politics for the last 28 years almost. What we have been seeing is for so many years, Baharampur and Murshidabad, the two of the neighboring adjacent constituencies, where one had a strong Congress presence and the other had a strong left presence, and both were fighting against each other to keep the other one out. Now, uh, it's quite a sensation to watch. Posters of you and Mr. Audit Chaudhary together, and Congress and the left coming together. So, how is this understanding coming about? How is this working out?
And of course, Adi Chaudhary and Mohammed Salim, we have played a role along with other leaders. So from the very beginning, we were saying this parliament election is very important for this country to protect and preserve the unity of the people as well as the constitutional values. So our federal structure, parliamentary democracy, secularism, that's the most important thing. Rest of the thing we can take care of. People's livelihood, people's suffering is to be addressed. How these divisive forces are now trying to divide the country on the basis of caste, you see in Manipur, and on the basis of religion, see the Kashmir, on the basis of see the entire North India, your food habit, vegetarian or non-vegetarian. They started with beef eaters or not beef eaters, but now Prime Minister is saying fish eaters or even fish eating is a crime. So Bengal has a syncretic culture. India had it. But here, because of the left movement, strong left movement, and the legacy of the freedom struggle, and of course this Renaissance, Bengal Renaissance, we don't do politics on the basis of what you wear, how you worship, where do you worship, what do you eat, what's your language. So that is what now Bengal needs that. And for that matter, Murshidabad is playing a very important role where this Congress and the left is coming together. And it's a smooth first time in the history of Bengal out of these 42 seats, the left front has entered into a seat adjustment with the Congress, and it's a very smooth thing that 12 seats, INC is fighting, and the 30 seats the left is fighting. Out of that, 23 CPM is fighting. And as your question was right, you see on the streets how the Congress workers and the leftist workers have come together. So this time it's not that the meeting of the leaders have been concluded, put a stamp on this. It's a particularly Panchayat election where so many killings, so many arrests, so many ruthless violence. So people developed a mood of resistance. Mind this word, or for resistance. So this for resistance, they came together and they resisted. Now, the more this administration, election commission, and the police administration, in particular, they realize that what is the mood of the people, they are eager to fight against corrupt, against criminals, against the criminals. So you can't divide Bengal people on the basis of religion or caste. And that's how this Congress and left came together. And this jail is working because from it's a bottom up. People have been united and they forced the leaders to come together.
Which leads me to my next question. That is, while the left supporters and voters are known to vote as per the instructions of the left leaders, we often don't see the reverse happening in the case of Congress. How can you be assured of Congress votes, whereas Congress can be assured of left?
Repeated question, but it's the past. In 2016, first time we entered in the seat adjustment with the Congress for the assembly election. But unfortunately, in 19, it did not happen. So Lok Sabha election, first time we are doing it. And it's a pressure from the bottom. So the Congress workers or CPM workers or left workers for that matter, their voters or our voters, they have already come together. Now in this Murshidabad, where we are sitting, it's a Bhagwan Gola segment assembly, and we have a by-election where the Congress is fighting with the left support. And the parliament seat, the CPM is fighting, left front is fighting with the Congress support. And we are traveling together, even eating together. So both the candidates, we are campaigning together, and here in this house, the CPM leaders, we're having together. So it's a social, cultural, and political and organizational bonding. For that matter, we have worked hard for last 2 years. People have learned from the lesson, from its experience. And that's why there are so many attempts from so many agencies, including a section of media, and there is so much of electoral fund, electoral bond. That fund was also utilized to break this unity, but people is vigilant and they have not allowed anyone to break this unity. So it's a people's unity against the BJP and TMC.
Talking about the electoral bonds, left definitely has, sits on a higher moral platform here, given that its two main rivals are the number one and number two, as far as beneficiaries of these bonds is concerned. So, how far are you applying that in your campaigns, and how much is that being understood by the people, particularly in the rural areas? Is that aspect working in rural areas of Bengal?
In the humble rural background, how the CPIM of Congress is moving around. Whereas this Abhishek Banerjee or Mamata Banerjee moving with the helicopters, Modi with the chartered flights, all these sundries, leaders of Congress or BJP with convoys, with central and state government protections and their officials. But on the other hand, we are working together with the foot soldiers. No arrangement. Even we have to borrow some chairs to make the arrangement to sit here. So that's a mingling with the people. Bengal's culture is that extravaganza they don't want. The bare necessity, because it's a question of survival. Survival of the country, survival of the democratic the legacy, as well as our own unity, people's unity. They wanted to break it by utilizing CA, NRC, Ram Temple, UCC, 370, but all have changed. People want employment, education, healthcare system. It's all being destroyed. Industrialization and basic amenity, drinking water, road facilities, bridges, railway connectivity. That's what is lacking. So in this case, the people's motto is very clear that they are here to oust both BJP and TMC.
2021, the ISF left and the Congress fought the elections together. Now, this time we see the ISF and the left Congress have parted ways. And more important, the ISF is fielding candidates in places like Murshidabad, where it kind of seems to be trying to scuttle the chances of the left Congress. Now, how did this falling out come about, and why? What do you think is the reason behind ISF's action?
In January 2021, within a month of its formation, we entered into a seat adjustment. But then, when India bloc was created, first Fisher arose because they made a statement that whoever is with the India bloc, they are not going to that. That means when it's clear, when it was India versus India, so they have chosen sides. Not physically, but ideologically or politically. Then people's minds, they started creating this doubt. Secondly, against TMC, they declared as a declared thing that they will fight. Their top leader will contest. But we left and Congress said, even before starting any question of seat adjustment, we unilaterally extended support because Abhishek Banerjee is to be defeated. But somehow some management has been made. You need so many agencies, so many interest, so much money is playing. So what played where, I'm not going to accuse. It's a different ball game altogether. But then when left and Congress smoothly materialized this, even there are some interested quarters who wanted to break this also. But successfully, left and Congress leadership, we entered into. The moment we entered into that, we were at the level of discussing the seat adjustment. But then we also made Congress decide that, okay, if ISF comes, no problem. But all of a sudden, they wanted to pose certain conditions, which is untenable. Say 22 seats, 17 seats, 7 seats, 9 seats, and those seats where left or Congress has chance. So naturally, they have chosen their path. Every political party has its, as a 2 years old party. If they want to continue for another 200 years or 20 years, they have to decide in which way they will go.
Now, specifically for your constituency, Murshidabad, does ISF's presence affect your chances in any way?
Mentioned to ISF when ISF broke away with this alliance. So that itself says what is the role carved out for ISF. Now you have traveled this many parts of Murshidabad and this constituency. So I'm asking you, where did you see ISF?
Nowhere.
Other than television screen or newspapers. So physically, people have already decided that it's a battle straight in this constituency. It's a TMC versus the left and Congress combined. Even BJP has lost its ground. So yes. So for that matter, we don't have any MLAs. Yeah. But the ground really is different. BJP is the main opposition in the assembly, but where is the ground? Recycled TMC elements. So overnight, in last 1 month, half a dozen MPs and MLAs, they traveled in between BJP and TMC. Yeah. So it's a subtle going on. So there is no chance of any other organizations or individuals to come into the fray seriously. So people are of the opinion that they don't want to lose their chance.
Now we want to talk about the India alliance. We have seen that like the left and Congress are part of the India alliance, but we saw Mamata, who was at the beginning, at the forefront of forging such an alliance, increasingly backing out to the point of becoming antagonistic towards the left and the Congress as far as the alliance is concerned. Now, what are your comments about Mamata's presence in this India alliance, presence at the center but not at the state? And, it's kind of a little confusing.
Why only Mamata? Nitish Kumar also playing a role. In fact, first meeting took place in Patna, organized by Nitish Kumar. So from that day onward, we are saying, from the terminal station, many people board the train, but all of them will reach the terminal. That's not guaranteed. So people have their own destination, own choice. But as far as Nitish Kumar or Mamata, JDU or teams is concerned, I term them as one, BJP's natural allies, strange allies, or potential allies. Now you count at which stage Mamata is there, teams is there. Because Congress was, the split in the Congress took place with the guidance of RSS. They cultivated TMC. They wanted Congress Mukt Bharat, so they utilized TMC. Now more and more with the passing days, people are realizing that. So they Mamata got this chance of destroying the BJP, Congress and the CPIM particular left. But she failed. She paved the way of rise of RSS and BJP in Bengal. Never earlier BJP had a single MLA. So the Mamata has her own role that she played and that benefited RSS or BJP. So in India alliance took place, we said it's not a national level alliance, it's not an electoral front, it's a anti-BJP forces coming together, not the neta but niti, the policies to be found out. Who is going to be the face of the opposition? That's what RSS wanted. So he said, no, it's not individual, not a personality, it's a question of policies. Secondly, state level seat adjustment. Mamata was always saying, by December you finish up alliance. But then CPM's position was very clear that state to state situation varies. So, because we are trying to protect the diversity, unity in diversity. It's a multicultural thing. So this syncretic culture. So in that case, Nana Bhasha, Nana Mat, Nana Paridhan. So if you protect this diversity, you have to be united. But this unity must be diversified. The approach must be diversified because Manipur and Gujarat is not in the same plan. Kerala and Delhi is not in the same plane. So in that case, state to state realities you have to take into account and state level adjustment took place. That is why these fellows, those who have a national aspiration, they have fallen apart.
Are talking about a resurgent left Congress, but particularly a resurgent left, and the kind of crowds that the left leaders are pulling in their rallies, in their campaigns, that is very perceptible that there is a change, at least among the younger generation. Now, you also have a whole new young set of leaders who are at the forefront of the elections this time. Now, I'm going to ask you a speculative question. Do you see the left's vote percentage increasing substantially? And how many seats are you realistically seeing the left Congress win?
Proof. Bengal's people will prove that they are more wiser than those poll pundits sitting as experts in this television channel. Secondly, is for the revival of democratic secular space in Bengal, you must have to have a resurgent left, and that's what we are working for. So it's a resurgent left with revamped organization and united people, youth driven. So it's a huge younger generation is coming up. They don't have this baggage and luggage, and it's a whole campaign is led by them. But experienced people like us are also there to share their experiences and advices. This election is going to be unparalleled. Result is going to be unprecedented, and all of you must be wait for this unpredictable result of this election. And it's not the question of percentage of vote share, because past, forget about 21, 22, 2019, even 2023 is past case. Already in Panchayat election and the by-elections, you have proved that, in the municipal election, you have proved that it's a geometrical rise of these figures of the percentage scored by left. So CPIM in particular, left and this Congress together, you will see how they are as a forerunner, emerging as a forerunner, and how the more BJP is being squeezed, the TMC's need is also going to be finished.
What Mr. Salim has said is that we can expect a result that is unprecedented this time. We need not look back at the past, we need not look at the results of the last few elections, but look forward to something quite stunning and quite exciting that is coming. Now, I really want to thank you for taking the time off. It's in this scorching heat. You've been doing your campaigning, and you still took time out to talk with us for such a long time. Very gracious of you.
Thank you very much. I'm sweating. I'm with the people, but I compelled you also to share some sufferings. Thank you.
I have no suffering at all. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much.